Tough talk ahead of the Cascadia clash this weekend. The MLS All-Stars have a new head coach, and the U.S. national team reignite the best rivalry in North American soccer next on The Daily. Hey everybody, happy Friday. Welcome to another edition of The Daily here with Andrew Wiebe. I'm Nick Fershaw, looking forward to the Cascadia Cup match on Sunday. So are the Seattle Sounders. They'll head down to the Rose City to play the Portland Timbers, 5 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. You can catch a live chat on MLSsoccer.com. And Andrew, the Sounders players are so fired up, they're already talking trash on Thursday before the game. Yeah, they're not holding back at all. A couple quick tidbits from them, really sticking it to Portland. Andrew Weber saying this is to decide who owns the Pacific Northwest. I think the underlying theme there that they're trying to put is that they are going to own it. Then Brad Evans saying Seattle's organization just a cut above, really driving home to those fan bases. And even Siggy Schmidt's getting in on the action. He's saying Seattle is the big brother in this rivalry, and I have to think that the Timbers are chomping at the bit to get in front of their home fans and deliver a little message. 2 games last year in this rivalry, the Sounders with a win and a draw in the other one. So the Sounders with the upper hand going into this one on Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Catch a live chat on MLSsoccer.com. Well, another good matchup in the Western Conference, this one between the two best teams in the conference, Real Salt Lake and San Jose, 9 p.m. Eastern on Saturday night. Catch it on MLS Live. It's out at Rio Tinto Stadium. You'd like to think for RSL's sake that's a good thing, but coming off that loss recently against the LA Galaxy, what do we expect in this one? Well, they're the best home team in the league, or at least one of, so that's a significant advantage for RSL. Ironically, though, San Jose is the best road team right now in the league, and this one's sure to be a clash. The winner going to have pole position on that supporter shield. I know it's early, but there is a point of pride there, being at the top, being #1 in points. But this is going to be a big clash, and a lot of it comes down to that matchup in the central defenses between two teams that have great strike forces and also central backs that are starting to make their names in MLS. Obviously, RSL has the pairing back there of Olave and Borchers. You'd have to give them the advantage, but San Jose a little bit underrated on that side this year. We'll see if they can slow down Espindola and Salvarillo. Well, Stephen Lenhart, Alan Gordon, and Chris Wondolowski in the Quakes coming off that win over the Colorado Rapids, that Goonies never say die mentality. We'll see if it comes into play on Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on MLS Live. Let's head east to Red Bull Arena, where the New York Red Bulls are at home on Sunday night against rival DC United, 7 p.m. Eastern on the NBC Sports Network. A live chat on MLSsoccer.com. Andrew, 2 of the best teams in the Eastern Conference so far this season. New York coming off that draw at Vancouver. DC United headed up to New Jersey. What do you expect? I expect a tough one up there, and it's already very difficult to get tickets for this match. Most people coming up short on that, myself included, but the interesting matchup here for me is going to be Dwayne Rosario against Dax McCarty, 2 guys that were switching sides in this rivalry last season. In a trade, they're going to match up head-to-head on the field this weekend. Dax McCarty in that holding role for the Red Bulls has done a great job this year, been very, very effective for them, and obviously we all know about Dwayne Rosario, what he can do on the field, what magic he can bring to a team. So I think whoever wins that matchup likely gives their team the best chance. We will likely see Thierry Henry and Rafa Marquez back for the Red Bulls, so that's definitely a major plus for them. Other news in DC United camp, Ben Olsen, the head coach down there, has been named the MLS All-Star head coach. He replaces Peter Novak from the Philadelphia Union. John Hackworth, who is the interim head coach at the Union, is going to serve as Olsen's assistant for that game July 25th against Chelsea down at PPL Park in Chester, Pennsylvania. Ben Olsen, you got to give it to him. A young coach is going to be enthusiastic about this, plus his travel schedule isn't that bad, and DC United, the best team in the Eastern Conference. And another point you didn't mention, it's a homecoming for Ben Olsen. He is from that area, has family there. A great opportunity for him, and I think the right decision. You showcase some young talent as far as managers go, and he is right there. His team is at the top of the Eastern Conference, despite having a very, very packed slate to start the season. Well, make sure you log on to MLSsoccer.com. You can vote for who you want to see on the field. We know Ben Olsen's going to be on the sidelines, but figure out who's going to be on the field for that MLS All-Star game July 25th against Chelsea. Last but certainly not least, the summer got a little bit more interesting for the U.S. national team on Thursday. They're slated to play down in Mexico City at Azteca Stadium August 15th. This is not necessarily the place they go for wins. 0-23-1 all-time in Mexico. But Jurgen Klinsmann's going to put them to the test in this one against Mexico. Yeah, it's not a kind environment for the Americans by any stretch of the imagination. But personally, I'm a little bit surprised that Mexico was willing to do this. There's a certain aspect of me that says you don't give away that advantage, that inherent
inherent kind of knowledge of what it's like to play in Azteca. You don't give that to the Americans before it really counts in World Cup qualifying. So I think on the American side, win, lose, draw, whatever you're able to get down there, it's a good experience, one that you can build on as you move forward in qualification.
Well, again, that game August 15th down in Mexico City. We talked about that and a host of other topics on the latest edition of Extra Time Radio. It came out on Thursday. We had Jeff Cameron from the Houston Dynamo and the U.S. national team, and John Spencer, the head coach of the Portland Timbers, ahead of that Cascadia matchup on Sunday. And one more thing, the Power 5 series that's been going all week, talking about the most unbreakable records and the breakable records. That series wraps up on Friday. You can find that on MLSsoccer.com.